The moment she realizes you fear losing her attraction, already starts silently dying inside. And most men completely destroy relationships, trying desperately preventing that exact painful outcome afterward, constantly. She stops replying quickly, so your entire emotional state instantly begins collapsing every single night. Now you keep checking notifications, hoping her name suddenly appears across your glowing phone screen. You reread old conversations, searching desperately for hidden clues, explaining her sudden emotional distance lately. Then your mind starts creating terrifying stories, destroying confidence and emotional stability completely afterward internally. Maybe another guy appeared suddenly, sounding calmer, stronger, emotionally detached, and mysteriously attractive instead recently. Maybe she secretly lost feelings while pretending everything still feels emotionally normal around you lately. Or maybe your desperate behavior slowly destroyed attraction without you recognizing warning signs beforehand completely. That last possibility honestly terrifies men more than rejection itself emotionally ever could previously before. Because women rarely lose attraction overnight, despite emotional social media breakup advice constantly claiming otherwise. Attraction usually dies slowly through tiny emotional mistakes repeated consistently during vulnerable relationship moments afterward. And unfortunately, modern men unknowingly repeat those mistakes every single emotionally painful relationship cycle today. The moment she becomes emotionally distant, your masculine frame instantly starts emotionally cracking underneath pressure. You send longer messages, hoping emotional honesty somehow magically rebuilds disappearing romantic chemistry naturally overnight. Then you start over-explaining innocent situations nobody emotionally grounded would continuously justify repeatedly anymore afterward. Suddenly, your confidence depends entirely upon whether one woman replies warmly or coldly tonight emotionally. And without noticing it, your emotional stability quietly becomes completely controlled by her attention afterward. That psychological shift instantly destroys attraction, faster than most men understand modern female psychology today. Because women emotionally respond strongest toward behavior patterns, not romantic speeches or emotional promises alone. Your words may sound confident, while your desperate actions expose emotional weakness underneath everything constantly afterward. And female intuition notices emotional instability unbelievably fast during complicated modern dating situations today, everywhere. That is why chasing harder almost never repairs attraction after emotional tension already disappears completely. Instead, every emotional reaction quietly confirms she emotionally controls your inner peace and confidence completely. Women rarely feel deeply attracted toward men emotionally collapsing whenever uncertainty suddenly appears inside relationships. They naturally feel attracted toward grounded men remaining emotionally calm despite painful emotional distance afterward. And psychology research actually explains why emotionally unpredictable experiences create stronger dopamine anticipation responses naturally. Human brains obsess hardest over uncertain outcomes instead of emotionally guaranteed, predictable relationship patterns afterward consistently, which explains why attraction feels strongest during earliest emotionally unpredictable relationship stages, usually before comfort. Back then, she never fully understood how emotionally invested you actually felt toward her internally. Sometimes you sounded interested, while other moments felt emotionally detached calm, and surprisingly mysterious instead. That emotional uncertainty activated curiosity, excitement, and anticipation inside her mind, naturally, every single interaction. But eventually, most men destroy that tension through constant emotional availability and validation-seeking behavior. They immediately reply every message despite work responsibilities, goals, or important personal priorities. Afterward, constantly. They cancel plans whenever she suddenly becomes emotionally available during random, inconvenient moments. Unexpectedly, afterward, they slowly abandon ambition, discipline, and masculine emotional control, chasing reassurance every single exhausting day. Afterward, and eventually, women stop feeling emotionally excited because nothing feels uncertain, mysterious, or emotionally stimulating anymore. Now she completely understands your emotional world, meaning anticipation and curiosity slowly disappear afterward entirely too. That is when emotional attraction quietly starts suffocating underneath seemingly normal relationship conversations every day. Most men panic immediately once they feel romantic chemistry slowly disappearing from interactions emotionally afterward lately. So they text more, call more, apologize more, and emotionally overinvest dramatically afterward constantly, instead, naturally. But every emotional reaction accidentally pushes women even further away psychologically during emotionally stressful relationship moments. Because emotional pressure never creates desire, despite what desperate men emotionally hope, late nights afterward, constantly. Women want emotional connection, but still need tension, curiosity, and emotional freedom underneath relationships constantly afterward. Once relationships start feeling emotionally heavy, attraction usually begins slowly fading away naturally over time instead. And honestly, most men never notice their emotional panic destroying everything until relationships completely collapse afterward. They believe loving harder automatically proves value, loyalty, commitment, and emotional maturity inside relationships constantly afterward. But attraction never rewards emotional desperation, regardless how genuine loving intentions actually feel internally afterward anymore. It rewards emotional confidence, self-control, mystery, and grounded masculine emotional energy instead, afterward, naturally, always. That realization completely changed everything about modern relationships and female attraction psychology afterward permanently for me. Because suddenly, every painful breakup started making brutal emotional sense inside my mind afterward, completely, finally. Women were never emotionally leaving because I cared, deeply loved hard, or stayed loyal constantly afterward. They emotionally pulled away because my behavior revealed fear, dependency, and emotional instability underneath everything instead. And once women sense losing them emotionally destroys your inner peace, attraction immediately weakens afterward dramatically. That is why emotionally grounded men often appear strangely magnetic during difficult relationship conflicts afterward naturally. Not because they care less emotionally, but because they remain emotionally composed under pressure consistently afterward. They never beg, chase, over-explain, or emotionally collapse whenever temporary emotional distance suddenly appears anymore afterward. And ironically, that emotional self-control usually reactivates female curiosity surprisingly fast afterward naturally again too. Because women instinctively notice when your emotional energy suddenly changes, becoming calmer, emotionally detached, afterward completely. Now, she starts wondering why your attention no longer revolves entirely around her validation emotionally anymore. That uncertainty slowly rebuilds emotional tension modern dating culture completely destroys through desperate, needy behavior constantly. And this next truth honestly shattered my understanding about relationships deeper than anything previously before emotionally.